Welcome to our video tutorial 3. This video tutorial section will teach us how to add an extra section from the table to the form manually, as well as how to update the form in its entirety. To begin, for example, now that we wanted a new field such as phone number, for example, and this person's phone number and this person's phone number. However, as stated before, the form does not get updated. So to add it manually, what you would do is you would go to Design View, and you will add a text box, just like we added the attachment box for the photo. You will add a text box right here. You'll see it'll be text and then a number. And we are going to rename this to phone number. And under this unbound section, we will go to Property Sheet, and we will say that the text name will be phone number, and that the control source will be phone number. This is exactly how we updated the photo. This is how you would manually update, like, for example, one updated section to the table. This is important, for example, when you have created your form and it looks perfect and it's huge and there's tons of stuff and you forgot one thing. However, this is not efficient to be able to update them all in its entirety and make sure everything is working properly. So this will be, for example, only useful when you're updating one or two things and you want to manually do it yourself. To update the entire form, let's go ahead and X out and save and view the form, and you'll notice that the phone number has been updated and it works. Now, to update the form in its entirety, what you need to do is you need to delete the form and re-upload the form. To do this, all we have to do is right-click on the form and click Delete. Please note that anything that you delete on the left-hand side will be permanently deleted. Undo will not work to undelete these situations. So please make sure that you are fully aware of what you are deleting before you delete it. We are going to click Yes, and you'll see that the form is now gone. Now what we will do is we will create a new form by going to the Form Wizard. And from here, we'll just click on the double arrow, which pulls everything aside. We'll go to Next. We'll make sure that the format is justified like we wanted. We'll leave it at Technic as the layout. And under Honors Program, we're going to rename it to Honors Program Form. When we finish, the new version is updated. And as you notice, for example, the phone number, we did not change the text character limit from 255, so you can notice how much larger it is, as opposed to the ID or the first name, which has been at 25 character limits. This, like I said, will help when you input a lot of things into a table and you put it into the form for the first time. Make sure that you switch it from 255 to the 25 to 50, 60, etc. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Layout view, and you'll notice that everything is still working according to key. Under Design View, this is where we'll be able to change the form to the way we want. Once again, I'm going to get rid of the form header and footer. I'm going to increase this for a little bit. I'm going to just highlight all this and move it down. And now I will move these around. As stated before, remember that what works best is 20 inches and a half for the length and 8 inches for the width. In all honesty, this will be your most tedious task, to be able to create the form to the way that you feel works best. going to delete by clicking on the delete key the name of the photo because I don't need it, but it is up to you. Also note, for a tidbit of information, that the order of the columns in your table view, let's go ahead and X out of this and save, and I'll show you. The order of the columns in your table view, for example ID, first name, last name, email, gender, is the order in which, when you click tab to input the information, the order in which it will be given. ID, first name, last name, email, gender, date of birth. So make sure that you notice that it's not just going to go in order like it is here, but it will in this time because of the way I've put it in the layout. But notice that it is always going to be in the order of these columns. So organize these columns first and make sure it's completed and make sure it is exhaustive of everything that you need. And then from there, go ahead and right click and go to Design View, and it wants us to close these tables first, so we'll listen to it and go to Design View. Make sure that these are all correct. Make sure that you click on Data Type and the field size is natural, not like 255 characters for your first name, but also make sure that the situations that you want, such as the photo has the attachment feature, the gender has the value list feature with no multiple values, and the top 3 picks, for example, would have a value list with multiple values. Make sure everything is corrected, X out, save it, and then that's when you would create your form. And it makes it much easier and for future reference to create a successful form. This is how you create it with manuals, and this is how you create it completely and up to date. Also, one extra thing that you should notice with in the form is the fact that there's a search feature down here at the bottom. If you wish to search for anything, it will search the entire form. This includes ID number, this includes the person's name, this includes any information within the top 3 picks, or whatever kind of form that you would have. Finally, to end it out, we will notice that down here to input information, because you will never need to input information specifically into the table. What you will do is you will use the form, which makes it much more ergonomic, which makes it much more user-friendly. You'll use the form to input information. To add a new to search for a different one, you would go to these 1 arrows. To go from the first to the last, you'll use the arrow with the 1. And to create a new one, you'll use the arrow that's pointing to this little yellow sun looking thing. From there, you'll be able to input in any information that you want. You'll be able to put in any information. You'll also be able to choose the gender, and like I said, you'll be able to choose the picks, and you'll be able to input all information like that. From there, when you X out, you'll be able to have it automatically updated to the table. The next video tutorial will show you how to create different queries and reports. It'll also have a lot more information inputted into the forms, so that way you can see better how the queries and reports work.